I like Hutchinson the best, and I don't think Linderbaum is worth a top 10 pick. Thibodeau slipped, and I am going to grab Thibodeau. The Giants took Khalil Elam. Good for them. Kenyon Green is a guarantee in my mind. He would be such a dream pick right here. Evan Neal is still on the board. I'm not going to pick him now. That 44 pick could be tight end. That 44 pick could be a good linebacker, a good safety. We could drop back one pick and pick up a second rounder for New Orleans. We got options here. Okay, hello and welcome to a special edition of Jets Chaos. This special edition of Jets Chaos is because Dom C, our local expertise and expert analyst has some film study for us. So we decided to fill in Tuesday night, a little bit of a void, and you know, while the game is still fresh on our mind, before it gets too deep into the week and we're thinking about Green Bay, we wanted to just take a look at what went right, take a look at some of our players, do some film analysis. It's going to be a big part of what we do moving forward. So those of you who are interested in just looking deeper into some of the plays for the Jets to understand what some of our players are doing well and what they need to work on, what is working for us and what's not working for us. That's what we're going to be doing here today. So welcome, Dom C.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, chat. Glad to be here and happy to get an invite back, man. As always.
Hell yeah. We got to designate a special time for this all the time because I've been loving the film analysis.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure to do. I do it, like I said, I do it with and for Green Bean, and even if I wasn't, kind of sharing my thoughts and views on what I see, I do it anyway. It's just kind of part of my nature. So I appreciate the opportunity to share my thoughts, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Hey, look, the tape is the tape. I mean, a lot of times you're pointing out the tape, but there's nothing to even debate.
Yeah, that's true.
Like one of the eye-opening things for me was when you showed the touchdown at the goal line last week, and AVT at left tackle pushed his guy literally 5 yards across the line.
Oh man, what a beast! And he had another phenomenal game.
Well, I don't know if you have the exact play recorded, but I actually noticed it today, earlier in the day. After Breece Hall did that 70-yard reception, Michael Carter brought in the 1-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Watch AVT from the right tackle side, and it looks exactly like the play that you showed him from the left tackle side, doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, the guy's a beast, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, the guy is just playing lights out football. Doesn't matter where he lines up. Listen, is he technically sound as a tackle? No, he's not. But even him at 70% technically sound is better than a lot of the NFL's tackles that are playing right now on Sundays. So it's a beautiful thing, man. We have a really, really good vibe going about the Jets right now, and let's keep it up, man. It's just different. I've been saying it all off season. Jeremy is my witness. Something feels different this year. Now I'm not ready to anoint us champions of the AFC, anything like that yet, but for sure, I'm comfortable saying right now this ain't the same old Jets that we're used to.
Certainly not. I mean, the same old Jets to me would have lost to that third string quarterback.
Yeah.
We certainly wouldn't have blitzed on the first freaking play of the game and gotten the safety.
Yeah.
Like we never did anything like it. I don't think we've ever seen Sauce blitz. It was like, we're not known for it. You'd think that, and then they didn't abuse it. They didn't do it again. They kept it this thing that like you just couldn't. I don't know how any offense coordinator for any team in the NFL like that's playing the Jets that's looking at our tape would ever imagine that could happen.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts, man. It's and that play in particular, and I don't know if I have it queued up here, but I will queue it up because I'd love to go over it with you and with the chat, because it's just such a smartly constructed defensive play, and there's little nuances that that none of us saw with the naked eye, but when you go back and see it, you'd be like, aha, no wonder this worked so well.
Right.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you're ready, bring it up. I'll share it with the screen, and we'll set
Yeah.
it all up. And
And Clutch, congrats to you too, guys. That was a great win.
yeah, that was crazy win. Crazy. Crazy. I was like, what's going on? Like, how does a team get so flat? But then boom, they woke up.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I get my screen up here. Oh, wait, let me do this. Let me share, present, share screen.
Aren't we supposed to be watching 49ers film? I'm not on the wrong channel, right? This is Jets Chaos.
Let me know if you can see it, Jeremy.
I could see it. I'm going to get it going right now. There we go. Let me see.
Well, this is just the start. So let me queue up. I'm actually going to queue up the first play here. Or just about. Okay.
Thank you for the super chat, Jets New York 102. I appreciate it.
Okay, are we ready?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. So this was interesting, and I'm going to point this out. Now I got my mouse and I got my computer working a little better. I think it's going to be a little bit easier to point stuff out. So we're in 11 personnel here, which is one running back right here, one tight end right here, three wide receivers. They haven't split left. I mean the deuce, the double side left, 2x left. And right off the get-go, Miami and their defense coordinator, McDaniel, kind of set the tone. They set the tone right here with this play, all right, and what they were going to do. They said, you know what, Jets, we don't like you, Zach Wilson. We don't believe in you. I want, they pretty much baited and asked for Zach Wilson to beat him. Why do you say? I want to show this right here. Can you see my hand here, Jeremy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, you got 6, you got 7, you got 8 men right up in the box. And this, especially right up here, is going to be something that you're going to see all day long. And it's something that I think one of the turning points for us is that we were able to scheme or adjust to what the defense was giving us. And the defense was a little bit lackadaisical in really adjusting to some of the fronts that we were showing. So this right here, this man who's head up in zero tech right over McGovern at playing pure nose tackle is not the norm. I mean, this is a 5-man front, with 8 men up in the box. You can call it, we'd probably refer to it more commonly known as 5-2. They're playing press on the outside with a single man, 2 linebackers, and a nickel right here on this guy. Okay, so they are telling us we are going to sell out and stop the run. Right? Zach Wilson, you go ahead and beat us. Okay, so this is good and bad. Okay, we had an opportunity on this play. All right, and I'm going to fast forward it, and then we'll talk through it in the next view as we do. All right. Oop. So we go right off the bat. Boom. Now they drop into zone. Okay. So I'm going to rewind. They're showing press, but they drop off into zone. This guy's
I feel like that's a very Belichick type move.
Well, I mean, it's very common. So they're he's man matched up top, and they're all underneath. You got coverage here all underneath. These are all guys playing in the zone, and he's playing the deep middle. Okay, so I'm going to play it through, and then I want to rewind, and then we'll watch it again from this view. Okay, because there's a little bit.
What's interesting, Dom, I just have to say, because from remembering the game, Zach's touchdown run later is going to look very similar, right? Except he's going to make the decision to run.
It is, and we'll go over that one. I'm actually trying not to show the scoring plays.
Okay.
Because I have to. I'm on with Green Bean tomorrow. So one of the things that I really wanted to highlight was the scoring plays, but we can do that, you and I in the chat in here. So we get a little miscommunication right off the bat between. I'm going to rewind it one more time. Okay, so they're pressed. Like I said, they're showing press man. He's pressed right up here. He's in man coverage. Okay, so my guess is that this guy right here is supposed to drop down. They're showing man, but what they're really going to drop off into is a 2 deep zone. His responsibility, this cornerback here, is the deep path. This guy's got this deep path, and everyone else kind of fills in this zone right here with this guy man matched. I want you to watch this nickel cornerback right here, and I don't have a number on him. I can't say. Watch what he does right off the bat. Okay. You see how he breaks this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's rewind that just a tad, and I want you to watch him right off the break again. Okay. And this, I think, is Zach not the best. It's a positive play, and that's good yardage. But I think it's an opportunity. It's a missed opportunity. That's what I'm saying. So they're showing press right off the bat. They're showing man coverage, but it's not really man. It's disguised. And watch that nickel back. He's already inching over. He's inching over. Boom. He breaks this way. He's supposed to break down. He's got this deep path. He's got this deep path, and he covers this flat area over here. Okay? So I don't know where the miscommunication happened, whether it's he played it wrong, this middle backer played it wrong, or the outside corner played it wrong, because he's thinking zone. He doesn't play it, and I don't know what this nickelback is doing, but I want you to watch Elijah Moore right here.
He's wide open.
Wide open. If Zach moves off his progression, and he doesn't, and I don't know if this was designed right off the bat that he was flaring out to Michael Carter right off the get-go, but Zach never even looks here. Okay? A pass right here, and Elijah Moore could be, off to the races. At least he's getting to at least the 35-yard line or not. Okay? So it's a complete missed opportunity. And he even had, who is that? Is that Corey Davis? Kind of had a step on his guy here. And this is a better place to watch it. Now we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys right in the box. Every time we had our tight ends in here, they packed in tight. Okay? So watch this middle backer, and you'll be able to see Elijah Moore kind of flank off here. This is an outside backer, so that's not him. But you'll be able to see Elijah Moore come right into the play right there.
Yeah.
He breaks off here. The guy that's on the slot goes and covers the flat, and there's nobody in this hook zone right here. But like I said, there was no read. It's well protected. There was no read. Zach looked to flare out. And like I said, Michael Carter gets 8 yards. I'm not knocking the play, but it's a missed opportunity right there. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Is there a chance it wasn't Zach's fault because it was completely designed to do that play only?
You know what? It absolutely could be. It absolutely could be. And maybe this is something that, LaFleur comes back to later on in the game, seeing what he sees after the fact. But Zach doesn't look up. Like I said, Zach drops 1, 2, 3. He opens and hits Michael Carter right in the flat. So to me, it was a designed play. They probably wanted to see, just kind of get a taste of what Miami was going to show them.
Mm-hmm.
So here again, I'm not going to get into this play, but again, we have our tight end here, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have the nose covered again. They have the zero tech covered. So Miami's intention was clear right from the get-go. We're going to stop the run, and we're going to make Zach Wilson beat us. We're going to make Zach Wilson play the perfect game like he did in the fourth quarter of Pittsburgh, and that's how he's going to beat us. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to play here. 354. Right about there is fine. Okay, let me rewind it here. Okay, so We got a tight end here, right? Now we're in 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. 1 running back, 2 tight ends. You see Conklin, you see Rucker. Okay. What do you got to cross? What do you got to cross? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 men in this box, right? And we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers. Advantage Miami. It's hard to run against this box. Okay.
Right.
So they're not showing much respect for Zach Wilson at all. It's a good play action, and Zach ends up having multiple receivers open on the play. And let's see if I can fast forward. It looks like he's checking off into something. So he sees what's on. Somebody else creeps in. Here's play action and rolls it out. And it's not the best throw, but it's effective nonetheless. And I'm going to rewind to this view here so we can see it here. Wide open. 342. That's fine. Nope. I got to go back one. Sorry, Jeremy.
Okay.
There it is. So this is the formation. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in the box. 1 safety lurking here, right? This guy looks like he's manned up here on this wide receiver, and they're press here. Again, press coverage with 1 deep safety is really not the norm. It's something that they're saying, we don't think your quarterback is. We're not too concerned. If this guy, because if he makes a move here and boop 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 and beats this guy, there's no help here. If the wide receiver is on this side and makes a move here, boop boop boop, there's no help here. So pressed corners with single high safety is just baiting the quarterback to beat you, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to shut down the run. They said, if you're going to beat us, Zach Wilson's going to beat us. So it really is telling what Miami thinks of Zach Wilson and their offensive scheme. But this happens to be a good play, okay? So Zach audibles to something, all right? He probably had run, and he audibled out to the pass because he saw. Good play action fake, right? So we're manned here, and we're manned right here, okay? And these 2 guys are going to drop off. Now, these guys, both linebackers are right here, and they bit the fake. So you have an opening right here. This is ended up where he throws it, and you even have an opening right here. So the play action, see, if he breaks, I think Elijah breaks this route, or whoever this inside receiver is, if it's Garrett's, the route tree is supposed to break this way. You don't ideally, he broke out, and you don't want to ideally bring your receiver or bring your defender to the point where this receiver is going. Now, ends up that Elijah Moore just completely puts the brakes on and toasts his guy. So it doesn't matter. And look at all the separation that he gets. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards of separation from his defender, and 3 yards from the closest defender. Zach puts a good ball only where in a place where only Elijah's going to get it.
That's what I like. I like that he hit that shoulder.
Yeah, it's a place. Listen, he could have hit him on the run. Now with 2 defenders here, it probably wouldn't have amounted to much more. But it's a very good schemed play. And again, I'm going to credit this one to Zach seeing what the defense was giving him and audibling out of the run into this play action.
Isn't it amazing how strong his arm is? Because if you look at his feet and the way he was positioned when he threw it, that was all arm and shoulder.
Well, let's just watch it on this view. See, there's the audible.
Look how he throws this.
Oh, yeah, it's a bad view, but yeah, like I said, he tried to lead Elijah a little bit more, but he put it in a place where only he was going to get it. Okay, so we're going to move up a little bit, and here's a play where let me get to it here, where it's not the greatest. Okay, so we're in trips. Trips has 3 receivers to one side, right? If we got 4 wide receivers, no tight ends on the field, 4 wide receivers, 1 running back.
Oh, who's that on the bottom? There.
Oh, well, I don't. That might be. I mean, it might be a tight end, but he's split off the line, so he's acting as a wide receiver. It could be Ozama. I'm not clear exactly
It looks
right
like
here.
a single number. It could be Elijah even. So I
Yeah.
can't. Nah, probably not. But I can't
But,
tell.
but you have a tight trips formation. Okay. So look at all these men right here. Right. You
Wow.
don't know who's coming where. Right. But what they're showing is they're showing tight man defense with two deeps right here. All right. So this play again, this is tough. I'm sure it's tough at any level. But again, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys right here, all on the line. Right now, one of them is going to cover him. Right, I counted that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on the line. Take one of them away because one of these two is going to be manned up on this guy. All right. So you have 6 blocks. You have 6 potential rushers. You only have 5 blockers. Right. So Zach's got to be quick. Right. And the line has to really communicate. And this is, I think, one of those issues with all the moving parts that we have on our offensive line. Really comes up a little bit, lackluster. Now, it could have easily been fixed, and we'll talk about it. And sometimes you tip your cap, and it's a good, it's a good blitz scheme by the defense. And I'm going to play it through, and then we'll watch it from the next view to really get what I'm saying. Okay, so Zach doesn't know where the rush is coming from, and if you look, manned, they got great coverage. Now the safeties that were in 2 high, they moved into a 1 high. They moved to a 1 high with a robber. So do you remember how much in the fourth quarter or even the whole Pittsburgh game, we just tore apart the middle of the field?
Yeah.
Right? The way to defend that is to take one of your deep safeties and pop him right in the middle of the field.
Right.
Right? So they're applying pressure. They still got this area cover. This guy's acting as, a 2 deep robber. Right? So he goes from here and he drops down and he's covering this whole middle field. You still got deep help here, and you're manned across from all 4 of the receivers, who, if you look, again, kudos to Miami. They're blanketed. Not one receiver's open. The play's already over at this point, but the whole time they had phenomenal coverage on it, and we'll be able to see what happens more clear from this view here. And it'll be a better view of what you're looking at, what Zach's looking at. Okay. So you got, and this is Uzama, who's flexed out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over here. You got 7 rushers. You got 6 guys, including Uzama. So just assume that this guy's taking him. You still got 6 rushers. Now, ideally, you're going to think he's coming here. So he's going to, oh my God, Brown's going to pick up here. You have 1 man 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 here. Great. But we have another man over here. Right? So let's show what happens. And the big problem happens, like I said, there's just a little bit of miscommunication. I think if this line gels a little bit more and they understand they understand what happens or what needs to happen, what really needs to happen is this line here. These guys here, all 1, 2, and 3, all need to slide their protection right. And then, most importantly, it's not a good job by Breece Hall. Okay, I'm going to play this through.
Yeah, I was thinking they're going to need Breece.
Okay. So here's the rusher. This guy's manned up, as we see on Uzama, and they're rushing from the outside. He breaks in. So if we slide right, even
71 could take him.
71 can take him. We got 1 here. Connor McGovern's got to slide right. Herberg's got 2 guys crashing in here, and you have a rusher here, right? So ideally, if he slides right and he slides right and he slides right, we got a good pocket. But that's not what happens. McGovern has his eyes pointed this way. Herberg's getting pressure from both sides, pressure up the middle. The big key is right here. Breece Hall does a poor job of picking up this rush. He chips him, but it doesn't get him far enough off, right? And look what happens. It just caves in. The whole thing just caves in on him. I'll show it again at fast speed. Instead of just applying that, instead of just throwing that shoulder like Brees does, he's really got to plant and protect.
Right.
Instead, he just tries to pop him, and the guy sidesteps him. He sidesteps him. Now we're still covered here. We're still covered here. Good. Lakin gets too much. Lakin lets up too much pressure too quick. So the pocket's collapsing right here. But if there was an open, ideally Zach could step up here, but he can't because Brees Hall does a bad job of pass protection. He's got nowhere to step up. He was a dead duck.
Yeah, you could see if Brees Hall would have angled his hips and really blocked him, there was a space for Zach.
Yeah, there absolutely was a space for Zach. Now, it might not have amounted to anything because there's great coverage all over, but maybe Zach can step up and he can scramble and he beats this guy here, who's just kind of standing low in the hook zone, just kind of just watching, At worst, it's not a negative play. All right. So bad job by Brees Hall. It's one of the few times we say that all game long. So he's a rookie. Yeah. Rookies are gonna, pass pro is not easy.
Right.
So it's something that stuff like that is, what you take the good with the bad sometimes, and that's the stuff that can easily get coached into them. Okay. So I think this is the play. Is this the first play of the game on defense?
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. No, it's not. No. Okay. Well, we watch the play here. Okay. So I'm going to rewind it now. Okay. So here's what we got here. We got lined up. We got JFM out in what's called the wide 9. He's the guy that's 2 steps outside of the tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have, that is, I think that's Q in the 3 tech, Rankins in the middle, or I'm sorry, vice versa. Rankins in the 3 and Q in the 5, and Lawson on the 7. So they're showing their 4-man front. All right. But this is a different look that the Jets have shown differently. Why? Him right here. They're running big nickel. So what they do is they bring Will Parks in. So they got 3 safeties on the board here. They got Joyner rolled up. They got Whitehead deep on this play. Joyner's rolled up, probably in man coverage here, or showing man coverage here. They got Whitehead playing deep, and they're playing with another nickel. So they were ready. They had an extra defensive back on the field a lot of the time. Okay. So the scheme here, you're going to see our whole defensive line crash left. Okay. And then you get Mosley, you get Quan, and you get Joyner, all kind of caught a little bit out of position. Again, the result of the play wasn't terrible, but it's one of those things where it's a missed opportunity. We had if everyone plays and doesn't bite on the counter, as you see, and holds their edge, we can probably stop them for a big play, if not another safety. And you'll be able to see it better from this view here, Jeremy. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4 across. There's your 2 linebackers, and here's your 3rd safety right here. Okay, so I want you to watch how the whole defensive line just crashes left, right? And that's the design of the play. These guys, Quan or CJ needs to fill, Quan needs to fill, and LaMarcus Joyner needs to fill, and all the holes, there's nowhere for them to go. Okay, so they're showing, they show pitch, and they all react to the pitch. Lines crashing here, but watch this blocker here. Watch this blocker here. See how he stops and turns? It's a little counter movement.
Yep.
What we need right here is we need a fill here. We need this Quan to fill here, and we need him to attack outside and do what your favorite thing is. Make sure we have an edge presence, which we don't. He keeps getting sucked in. All right. So now at this point, all right, and actually, in full disclosure, after the fact I saw Michael Nania do a little write up on this specific play, where he really he praised what Quan does on this play. You know what? I mean, I don't see it the same. I see it a little bit different. He makes a great play, athletic to get back to it. But I think I think he's one of the reasons why it's not a bigger loss. Why we couldn't get a bigger negative play here, right? We see that they react to the opening. The quarterback opens up like he's going to pitch the ball, and he does. He pitches it. But right here, once you see this fullback, he's the lead blocker, right? And it's just a little counter. That's all it is. He should be crashing here. He should be crashing here. He needs to crash between, either split the defenders here or peel out. And LaMarcus Jordan doesn't do a good job here staying home either, right? His eyes are on the pitch, and no one's really paying attention to what's happening here. We have a lead blocker here. If we're filled, 1, 2, he peels off here and we close here, look where he is. He's on the goal line. There's a good chance that we have our second safety of the game, but
Right.
it doesn't. We lose contain out here. Not blaming the line, because they were all crashing. Our linebackers are out of position. Now Quan Alexander, look where he is. He's got a guard face up on him. Does a good job to get away, and makes a great athletic play. I mean, that's the athlete in him. And he holds him to 6 yards, which would have been a big play. But it's a play that we could have had. Again, it's one of those missed opportunities. We could have had him for a loss.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm seeing there on that first scheme. Now, I want to see if I can find – I don't have it. I don't have it timed out, but I want to see if I can find the first play of the game on defense. Looks like we're punting here. No.
There we go.
There we go. There we're punting. Okay.
That was
Now I know we're winding back, but here's the play. Okay, this is the play where we knock Teddy out. Now I want you to watch one thing. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. We're manned up here. We got Whitehead here, Joyner here. So we're showing 2 safeties. So he's showing as he's covering here, right? He shows that he's covering the strong side, this flex tight, but he never was. We obviously know that he was blitzing the whole time. Okay, but watch what happens right there. You see what happened? It was so subtle you probably didn't see it, right?
I didn't see it.
I'm going to show you again. Okay, when he goes in motion, I want you to watch what JFM does. Okay, because right now he's lined up on the outside shoulder of this tackle. Tight end starts to go in motion. What does JFM do?
He stepped in.
He moves inside. You know why?
To clear the path for Sauce.
Not only that, but now he's dead on, locked on this guy. So what they're seeing is what he's doing, and I'm sure he's coached in this. I mean, I'm not making this up, but he closes down once that tight end closes. So now this guy is going to kind of pick him up and, in essence, free up this rush. So JFM knows that we're bringing heat this way, and he wants to do everything in his power to get the attention of that tackle. And that's exactly what happens. They show, the line reaches left as if it's going to be a right here. A run here. We know that it's play action. They're trying to put together a screen. And Sauce just comes unabated. And boom. Now, I got to be honest with you. And you can see JFM here. Again, boom. He closes down.
I love it when he moves like that.
He closes down. And as the offensive line reaches left, the line does what they do, and they follow. They shadow. So now the tackle reaches left, and JFM steps right in his face. So that tackle has no choice. He can't peel off. He cannot peel off to even look outside if he wanted to, because JFM is not only in his face, but he's on his inside shoulder. And you never let anyone through on your inside shoulder.
Right.
So whether he was, whether that was JFM doing that on his own, or if he was, if that's how it was schemed, it worked out perfect. Now, I will say this. I don't think it was a safety. I don't think it was a safety. I don't think it was intentional grounding.
It looked like he was trying to throw
it. Letter, and listen, I'm happy it did, but by letter of the law, of the rule, intentional grounding shouldn't be, if his throw to a receiver was impeded by contact because of that, if anything, that should have been an incomplete pass. But, I'm not the official, and I'm glad I'm not in that sense. So I want to get back more to some offense.
Yeah, offense.
All right. Okay. So here we are again. We got 11 personnel, right? 3 wide receivers, 1 running back. Here's our tight end. And again, they're showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men in the box. They're not letting us run, right? They're showing man here. They're showing man here. They're showing man here, right? They got a single high safety. This is a great route scheme to get Elijah Moore wide open on this, right? Did we talk about this? I think we did talk about this one.
Fake the head off.
No, it's not. No, we didn't talk about that one. All right, so let's rewind that again. All right. Great route scheme to get Elijah Moore wide open. And he's on the outside. And just watch what he does. Puts the brakes on. Again, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards of separation. Right? 5 yards of separation. And I want you to look at the route scheme here. Smart. Okay, so you got Garrett on the inside. You got Elijah on the outside. And you got whoever... Is that Garrett, maybe? Whoever this is, no, that's Uzama. You got Uzama coming across the middle, right? And you got Garrett pretty much running off the safety, right? So these guys are kind of both keeping an eye. They're passing each other off in the zone. They're passing Uzama off in the zone so he doesn't float wide open here. And you got Garrett Wilson just taking the safety deep here, right? Mm-hmm. So all he has to do is just stop, which we know he does, like a gem. And look, Zach's already throwing. Zach's throwing Elijah into his break. So he's releasing the ball before the breaks happen.
Because he knows what Elijah's going to do. And
he knows the scheme. He knows exactly where he's going. And they gave him everything he wants. Garrett's going to clear out the safety. Uzama's going to take these guys and kind of pick them off. And it's going to leave this whole area open. Now, it's an incomplete pass. All right. It's a little underthrown. It's a little too much pressure off the middle, and Zach can't step up, and we'll be able to see it a little better here. Okay? So let me rewind it just a tad. One second. Let me get there. Okay. So Corey, Conklin. And Conklin actually stays home, so they're only sending they're sending 3 guys out on the route, and it's I said Uzama, but it's actually Corey Davis running across, running the crossing route. So a little too much pressure up the middle, and I'm going to rewind that so we can see it better. Little too much pressure here. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, you got 6, and these guys all fold up the middle, right? They all fold up the middle. Boom. Linebacker blitzes. You have Lakin, who gets beat a little bit to the inside. McGovern holds his block right here. AVT does a good job here. And Herberg, I don't know what he's doing here. Not the best rep. right? Because what he should have done is peeled off. And if he just anchored and blasted out, let's see if I can rewind it a little bit. Watch Herberg here. Okay. So there's no one really here. This guy doesn't go anywhere. Herberg doesn't pick up that Lakin's getting his ass kicked. If he just kind of anchors right here and pushes into this block, this defender that's coming between Lakin and McGovern, I think we have a beautiful pocket because AVT's just, this guy can't get through AVT. And Dwayne Brown does a good job. Even Conklin does a great job here. We have protection here. But this whole clusterfuck here just screws everything up. And there's a little too much pressure. And right as he's starting to step up, you see, as he's starting to go, now Lakin's kind of being driven back into Zach. So he can't really step up into the throw. You see how he kind of short arms it?
Yeah.
And kind of slings it? Oh. He kind of short arms it and slings it. Watch Zach again. I'm going to try to pause it as he goes. Here's the fake. So he drops. Right now, he decides. Now he's going to go. Now Lakin's already getting beat here, right? You got Lakin getting pushed back here. You got these three guys on these two blockers got to do a better job. There's too much pressure up the middle. So as he's going to throw, he can't really throw, and he short arms it. And look what happens. He short arms it, and he comes up short on Elijah Moore with 6 yards of separation on his men. It's a shame. But listen, it's pressure. Bad rep. It happens.
Yeah.
So let's go to 10:57.
It's amazing because he was so open, so everything worked so well.
Perfectly schemed play with bad execution up front.
Yeah, if Lakin, two things could have happened. Lakin could have not been pushed back so quickly and just gave him a split second more, or the guard could have helped out. The guard could have exploded and helped out.
Yeah, the problem really started with Herbig, okay? Because Herbig, as you see, he kind of sets, and he's looking at that linebacker. And when that linebacker doesn't rush, he needs to peel off. He doesn't really peel off, aggressively at an angle. He kind of just stands there, and then all four of the other big bodies kind of hit into Herbig, and Herbig actually kind of hits McGovern off of his guy, which causes two guys now to be pushing on Lakin. It's just like I said, it was just a bad rep. And we'll call it that.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're in 11 personnel. All right. So we talked about before the really poor job Breece Hall does on pass blocking, right? Well, here's the opposite. This is a great, great play all around. All right. And let's watch it again. Okay. So we got 1, 2. We got our 11 personnel, right? Here's our tight end, and you're showing man coverage here. You're showing man here. You're showing off man here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. We don't know where we don't know where the rusher's coming from, right? This is the same exact look as they gave us before, right? The one where Breece Hall missed the block, and then the pressure came up the middle. Remember that sack that I said it wasn't a great rep? This is the same exact defensive look. Okay, they adjust the blitz, and the difference is that we do an excellent job pass blocking this one. We do an excellent job. So they peel off here. I'm going to rewind a little bit. 10:47. Okay, I went too far, but that's okay. So you're going to see this rusher here, right? We move Corey Davis in motion, right? Just like what we did when Sauce blitzed They move their guy in motion. So these guys are empty right here. So ideally, you think they're going to rush, but Miami does a different job here, right? They peel one off right now. Boom. See how he didn't rush? They're bringing the rush from this side, right? They're trying to confuse Zach a little bit. Before they brought it from the empty side, and now they're bringing it from the strong side. So they're not in man coverage whatsoever, and everyone's dropping back into their zones, right? And he's going into a deep third. He's going to deep middle, and he's got a deep third. And this guy who's showing blitz is really covering the flats here, and this guy here is covering the flats here, and he's got the hook over here. So they're just, it's a good defensive play, good defensive scheme, but well picked up. Okay. And I'm going to play it. You can see it better from this next angle, which is why I'm letting this go. Okay. So here's all the rushers again. Now you think this is where they brought pressure last time here, and they brought pressure here on the weak side, but now they're gonna switch it up.
Yeah.
They're going to switch it up. And they do an excellent job picking up the splits. Now, they're only blitzing 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. They drop everyone off into coverage. Watch Breece Hall. Watch Breece Hall right here. Boom. See that difference in him actually setting up? In him actually setting his feet and sticking his block and not just throwing his shoulder?
Planted his feet,
anchored down, and stood his ground. Took the defender almost right off his feet. You can watch it in real time right here. Boom. And that formed that pocket where Zach can step up and throws a BB to Corey Davis. Beautiful play. Beautiful throw. Beautiful execution. Great blocking by both Ruckert and Breece Hall there. So, just a couple plays later, we'll let this one run through. Remember exactly what this is. Oh yeah, this is just. You know what? I didn't have this, but I think it's a good play to show. Okay, so we got 1, we got 2, we got 3 tight ends here, right? 13 personnel. Okay, count our defenders here, Jeremy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in the box.
Wow.
9 guys. Zach beat us. That's exactly what Miami's saying. Here you go, Zach. You guys are going to bring in tight. You're going to bring in your big personnel. Well, screw you. We're just going to bring more men up on the line. Okay. So this isn't a great play. I remember this one now. Uzama's here.
That's Ruckert coming across.
So Ruckert's coming across, okay? So we already saw the first, we already saw that it's a pitch, right? Okay? So everyone reaches to the left, right? Ideally, and this is the ideal situation. You got Ruckert coming across here, right? You put him in motion, he's going to kick out here. Uzama is supposed to be out here. Boom. He's supposed to probably chip and then get out here and either kick out on the cornerback that's back here or seal on this safety that's here, right? You got these 2 guys, Brown and Lakin, doing a good job. Normal, good technical zone scheme where they bump and then Lakin picks him up and Brown will peel off and take this guy here, right? You have a little hook move here. He's got a man in zero tech, so that's going to be his. And Herberg should work around McGovern and seal this linebacker here. Elijah does a phenomenal job of reaching and getting his outside shoulder on the inside shoulder of that tackle. So he does a great job here. And all he has to do here is he's just got to cover this hole, and then he can just stop and kind of pick this guy up. This can be a well-blocked play, okay? But it breaks down very quickly. Why? Miami's super aggressive, right? Their reads were super aggressive. They picked up on our runs very, very well, and they fill the holes. Remember that play I showed you earlier where Mosley didn't fill and Quan didn't fill and Jordan didn't fill? Well, Miami's linebackers do the opposite. They follow they read the block, they read the zone scheme, they see the pitch, and they're filling right away. All right. Now, Uzama here just completely whiffs on that guy, right? So Ruckert gets tangled up now, and he completely whiffs on the guy. So you have this guy was missed by both Uzama and Ruckert. Jeff Smith's the only guy that's blocking well here. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Dwayne Brown and Lakin do a good job, but Brees can't even cut this back off of Dwayne Brown's off of this lane right here because this guy shot the gap right here, right? So good job by Miami filling and filling their gaps, and there's just nowhere for them to go. But our two tight ends kind of just shit the bed right there.
I mean, we just had two tight ends in the game do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, listen, it happens. It happens. And I'm going to watch it in fast speed so you can really see Uzama. Not here, but you can see it from the next one. Just focus on Uzama. This is what happens. Like they tell you in football, never want your head down.
Oh my God.
He has his head down the whole time, because he's probably so worried about getting outside because he's trying to get outside. He's trying to turn that guy in so that Rucker can pick him up and he can peel off. But he's got his head down to get to that, kind of hit that mark before the defender does. And the defender just olays him out. Yeah, it was just a failure. Lakin hit the wrong guy. Lakin needs to peel off and hit that linebacker that broke the hole. If Dwayne Brown's going to stay, instead of Dwayne Brown peeling off, there was no linebacker for him to peel off because that guy shot the gap right on Lakin's inside.
Mm-hmm.
So,
huh.
Interesting, right? Good stuff. So here we are. What do we have here? We're back in 12 personnel with two tight ends. There's still 8 defenders in on the box. And again, the play just doesn't develop. We got a lot of pressure. And this is when things started to I started to get about this game in real time. Okay. So you got all these defenders in the box. You got 2 tight ends on the strong side with the running back. Okay. We got a rusher here. 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 This guy looks like he's staying with Brees Hall in man coverage, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Herbig just gets beat to the inside. Herbig gets beat to the inside, and they run a little stunt, which gets home. Let's watch it again. Fast time. Herbig's here. McGovern's here. Lakin's here. So they crash in, and they just run a little stunt, and nobody picks up the stunter. Nowhere for Zach to go.
Nowhere for Zach to go. Right in.
So Lakin Tomlinson did a lot of just standing around and looking backwards. Now, I don't necessarily know if that play right there was his fault. It's probably more the fault lies between who's going to pick up that stunter. That guy stunting. When they crash down, Herbig should pass him off and be there to pick up the guy who's stunting around. And again, it's game 2 with these guys playing next to one another. So
right. So they'll get better, right? I mean, they should.
They will get better here. They will absolutely get better. So I want to fast forward to this play because this is one that we all know very well. And I thought it was not that. That's a fair catch punt. Okay. So we talked about I talked about the adjustments that I thought Mike LaFleur made that the Dolphins defense didn't make, right? So this is the typical formation that we showed a lot of the time, right? We have 22 personnel. No, 22 personnel because we got 2 wide receivers, we got 2 running backs, we got 1 tight end. All right. Look what they got showing up front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. 8 guys in the box. They see this formation. We showed it all last week. We showed it 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati, right? When these two guys are in the backfield together, it's usually some sort of off-tackle sweep, right? So they see this formation, and they're committed all in to stop this run. You got press coverage right here. You got press coverage right here, right? You got a single high safety. Again, disrespectful. Press man on the outside with a single high safety is asking for trouble from the defense. But defense is saying, we don't think Zach's going to beat us, right? So you got 8 man up front with a single high safety. This is Ruckert right here. Ruckert saw a lot of action. So he moves across the formation, and what happens? So the linebacker move across with him, right? Can I rewind that for you?
The linebacker went first, and the linebacker flipped.
Yeah.
Sides.
So in essence, the linebacker's following him, chasing him. The linebacker's got him in man coverage.
Right. That clearly means he's responsible for him, right? Because he's following.
So he's following him. He's responsible for him. So what does that leave? We got man here. We got man here, right? We know that this linebacker is here. That means this linebacker is keyed up on Michael Carter, and the middle linebacker is keyed up on Breece Hall, okay? Now, first and foremost, you have a middle linebacker on the hash, and Breece Hall is a yard outside of the hash, disadvantage right away, right? For him to try to keep up with him on any route in this area, he's never going to get there, right? Again, we showed run out of this formation for 2 games straight, and they jammed the middle, expecting the run. They got 8 guys up here. Man across. Man defense all across with one single high safety. Zach Wilson beat us. So what does Zach say? Okay, we will. Boom. Perfectly placed ball.
Now watch this, though. No. He just won't get
And if you look, and you'll see it on the next view, okay? So here he's going again.
Watching that linebacker.
These linebackers are picking them up in straight man, all right?
He's staring right at him.
They bite, but that fake right there. See that little ball fake to Michael Carter?
Yeah.
All right? It froze him just enough. He's already off to the races. A good route here. A good little rub route by Corey Davis, drags the defenders into one another. Boom. This defender is supposed to be here. Now what is he going to do?
Right.
Look at that. He can't even get there. He's gone.
By the time he goes even near there, Breece Hall's 10 yards, 15 yards downfield.
Now, here's the biggest pain in the ass thing right here. Watch this. Kudos to Barrios.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy doesn't stop hustling.
It's crazy.
But if Barrios isn't there, I think Breece Hall gets in the end zone. Because Breece Hall trips over Barrios.
Yeah.
He trips over Barrios, that son of a bitch.
Get out of my way.
Get out of my way. Right? Unbelievable. Oh, man. I got one more play here queued up, Jeremy.
Okay.
I know we're about an hour, so I don't want to go too crazy here. A lot more we could talk about, ad infinitum, but I think this is a really, really good play by Zach. So we're getting into went too far. Oh no, I didn't. That's perfect. Okay. Here we go. Our 3 wide, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 11 personnel. All right. You're showing man across again, a high safety, right? Except 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they start adjusting as we're into the 4th quarter. They start adjusting, and they took one of their down linemen back and put another linebacker in because they probably got tired of our running backs beating their linebackers all day long on the swings and on the little out routes, so on and so forth. Okay. So here's the strong side of the formation, right? Where the tight end is. And they're going to blitz from that strong side. They show it right away. There's no way. Again, look at this middle linebacker. They're manned across. 1, 2, 3, right? They blitz here. This linebacker's got Conklin. And who's got Breece Hall? This guy's asked to get Breece Hall, who's on the opposite side of the outside hash. Breece Hall's already got a couple steps on him. Just like that. Nice little play. Again, good route scheme. Probably doesn't show much. But they run a little rub.
He flipped around.
Yeah, they run a little rub. I mean, this was set up. This was, in essence, it's a little rub or a pick play, right? And as long as whoever that is, I think that's Garrett or Elijah. As long as he doesn't block on this guy or set the pick, we're fine. But he doesn't. He just puts them in perfect location so that the defenders run to each other.
Yeah.
And Breece is smooth sailing. Again, he should have got home here. Elijah, once they ran into each other, Elijah's got to turn up. If Elijah blocks up for us right here, we got a touchdown.
Yeah.
But instead, it's only down to the one. You know,
Second time.
For all those guys that said Zach Wilson had a shit game, mostly all those Dolphin fans, they beg to differ. You know, sometimes the game isn't necessarily won or lost in the stats or in the box score, right? He's 2 yards away, 1 yard away on 2 separate occasions from having an additional 2 touchdowns. You know, so if he throws at 68%, which he completed 68% of his passes with 3 total touchdowns, that's a huge day, right?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I felt that Zach was just no interceptions. Great game management, made all the right decisions. You know, his rushing touchdown was a great decision.
Yeah.
Like you said, like that incomplete pass, we're screaming at home, why, too low. He's not accurate, but it wasn't that. You're right. He couldn't follow through with this throw.
He couldn't step it. So he just, he just kind of winged it like this. You know, it was all wrist action.
Yeah. So, even Frankie said 66 pass percentage and twisted his point to get out. Frankie said that's all we need.
62 is Frankie's number, I believe.
Oh, was it? I thought he said that if we got Zach to 66%, then he would like.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying, but I think he said, I could be wrong, but I think he said 62% is the number that you want to be at, or 63%, somewhere along there. But like I said, he was at 66, 68% passing for the day. If he had 3 total scores, everyone would be like, oh, what a great day by Zach, because they only had 1 rushing touchdown, no throwing touchdowns. Everyone's like, oh, he dinked and dunked. You know what? He dinked and dunked because that's all he had to do, man. That is all he had to do. Did I see Iowan?
Iowan is here.
My dude.
Apparently, he's going to another game. He's addicted.
He always goes to the Vikings game. I think he told me.
Right. Yeah, he goes like that. Minnesota's only 5-hour drive away. It's super bet. He's asking me if the bet is there, man. It's like if the Jets win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna win about $15,000. So
wow.
Aren't we supposed to be watching 49ers film? Very funny. Very funny.
Listen, that was just a couple quick plays. Like I said, I really wanted to focus on the adjustments that we made to what, I really wanted to show what Miami was doing and how we counteracted it. I could have showed you numerous running plays that got blown up because they were, Miami had a good scheme to stop the run. It didn't always work, And I think that for the first time in a while, we didn't wait too long to make the adjustments. Kudos to Mike LaFleur. I've given him a hard time over the past couple weeks and even into the end of last year. Mike LaFleur seems to always be like the forgotten one. It's easy to knock on Saleh. It's easy to knock on Ulbrich. But I think Mike LaFleur has been given a pass. And I haven't been given a pass. But you know what? Kudos to him because he called a hell of a game. And he made the adjustments where he had to make the adjustments. It was just a great scheme, and the fourth quarter was just fun to watch, man.
Hey,
Just a
look,
lot of fun.
this is grown up stuff. The schemes we're running. I mean, LaFleur might look young and look like a kid, but when you really break these plays down, they're very sophisticated. Like this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Listen, him and his brother, they learn from the best. The guys that come out of the Shanahan family, there's like three school of thoughts in the modern day, coaching lineage, right? There's the Andy Reid guys, there's the Shanahan guys, and there's the guys with Belichick.
Yeah.
And the guys with Shanahan, man, the Shanahan lineage is it's strong. You got McVay, you got LaFleur in Green Bay, you got what's the guy's name? Zach, the Cincinnati coach. Oh my God, somebody help me in the chat. What's his last name?
God, Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. You got Zach Taylor. You got Kyle Shanahan, who obviously you got Art Smith. These guys are all good offensive minds. Now the guy in Minnesota, another one from the Shanahan lineage.
Yeah.
The schemes work. The offense is there. And Mike LaFleur has learned from the best.
Yeah. And he's surrounded by it. He grew up with it, like it's been his whole life since he's a teenager. So, he's just, he's schooled in it. And now it's just the experience of applying it and calling it at the right time and the timing and knowing your players and knowing when and what, and, and that of course is going to take time. Of course they come and they're working with all these new players. They're rebuilding a roster. And of course there's going to be a development and an evolution of him learning who can do what.
Yeah.
You don't come in just knowing exactly, and you're not going to be 100% knowing who's going to execute well in what areas. And so it's, and you could see the improvement. I definitely feel that the offense and the way he calls the game is developing and better and better.
You're absolutely right. And it also probably helps that you now have some true talented skill position players, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not throwing out the likes of Keelan Cole and what was his name? Montgomery. Good Lord. DJ Montgomery.
And
DJ Montgomery, Keelan Cole, and Tyler Croft. Like, you have some true skilled positions players who can go out there and make plays.
Yeah.
That's still what it's about, right? Offenses are built two ways, really, right? You either have the ridiculous high-end, solid, unbeatable offensive line, which gives everything else time to develop, or you have true skill position players that make things happen when there's not enough time to do it. Cincinnati last year, perfect example. Shitty offensive line, phenomenal skill players take it to the Super Bowl, right? Dallas of the years past, not the most skilled at the skill position, solid offensive line. Tampa Bay, solid offensive line, win Super Bowls. So right now with our offensive line in flux, our skill position guys better step up, and they have.
Yeah. And it doesn't show up in the numbers sometimes, but when you watch the plays and you watch the routes they're running, Elijah, you could see him running some beautiful routes and getting open. You could see Garrett Wilson doing some great things, and it looks like that they changed the scheme and that, maybe to throw off the competition. Like, it didn't look like or feel like Garrett Wilson was even schemed to be a big part of this game. He just was what he was, the decoy that takes up his, and does the blocks he needs to do, but takes up the defenders that he needs to take up.
Yeah.
And he did little things that don't show in stats. Like you said, he made those two guys bang into each other. He did a beautiful thing on that play.
Well, we also I think we ran 14 less plays offensively this game than we did last. So if you think about it, that's a big number, right?
Yeah.
That's a big number. 14 plays is a lot. That could be, that could be 5 looks, 5 looks Garrett's way that just didn't go his way, right?
Yeah.
And again, it was clear to me that the scheme here was not going to be, our offensive scheme was not going to be, let's beat Miami vertically, which surprises me a little bit because I think we could have really attacked them on that. Thanks, Twisted. I appreciate you, dude. I think we could have really attacked them on the flanks and vertically if we wanted to. However, they were going to utilize mismatches, right?
Guys, I apologize. I've been sick for the last 4 or 5 days, and while I am getting much better, it's not COVID. It's a cold. I just had I got that nasty cold that's been going around, and like colds are really bad for me. Like I get them really bad, so I've been miserable, and that's why I keep hitting. I have to hit the mute button every 5 seconds to cough and all that. So that's what's going on. That's why I'm not like blah blah blah, and I can't do my intros and I can't yell because my throat's scratchy. So a few more days and I should be back to normal. So just hang in there.
So Braden's got a little. Can you put Braden's message out there?
This one?
Yeah. How are we beating Green Bay? Is that for another night? Braden, funny you ask. If you and the rest of the beanbaggers come on 8 o'clock tomorrow night on Green Bean's channel, you'll see some plays that I have schemed out, which will, I think, Dom C was up in the booth, could really attack Green Bay very, very well. So to answer your question, that is for another night. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m.
Is that for the
Green Bean Patreons? Yep.
Okay, that's why, guys, man. I'll say, if you can't afford a ton of money, I understand. Like, but Green Bean has an entry level price. I think $5 a month, and for that $5 a month, just the Dom C part of it is worth it. I mean, like to get that stuff, but also the hangout where they watch the classic games is just a ton of fun. So
I think Bean says he wants to do the Miami game, the big Miami game. Oh my God, what year was it?
3 times. Oh, 3 times more. Okay.
Eat green peppers.
Yeah, apparently it has 3 times the vitamin C as an orange. But what about, I have like 1,000 milligram vitamin C cherry flavored wafer things that I can eat. So I couldn't drink orange juice. That's the worst part. I don't know if everybody has the same kind of colds, but my throat always gets very crazy and itchy and irritated. And I can't drink orange juice when I have a cold because it burns the hell out of me. It hurts.
So here's a little secret for a head cold, Jeremy.
Yeah.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, taught me. It's been tweaked, but 2 main things. Zinc. Do you have zinc supplements?
Yeah. I have them. I didn't take them, but I have them.
Pound zinc supplements
and
go to sleep. When you go to bed at night, put on thick, heavy socks, sweatpants, sweatshirt, Scully over your head. Plenty of zinc. Sweat that son of a bitch out.
All right. But now I'm left with the cough and the scratchy throat.
Yeah.
So, that I don't know what to do. I'm going to probably have to take Robitussin tonight because I couldn't get any sleep last night. I kept coughing.
Yeah. So. Post-nasal man will do it. But
plus, when I would fall asleep, my wife would wake me up because of the cold. I guess I'm snoring louder than ever. So she's like shaking me and saying, wake up. You're snoring. You got to stop. Oh, boy. Yeah, try some recall. I know. I'm so bad at taking care of myself and doing those kind of obvious things. Like I'm not doing. I know my wife has a bag of cough drops down there. Like down in the kitchen somewhere. It's like, well, I don't know why I don't do those things. I also should be drinking some more tea or hot liquids too. So what are you gonna do? I'm gonna have a big mug of tea before I go to bed. Just try to help my throat a little bit, but I might just down some Robitussin.
Call it a night.
Just call it a night. They'll knocks me out cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got planned for the rest of the week? You got Wacky Wednesday tomorrow, right?
I got Wacky Wednesday tomorrow. We got Gunny coming on, New York Situation Report.
Very nice.
So he's gonna come on and hang out and chill, and with of course Adam, and then we got the. I'll try to get on with the green bean thing with you, like before I start that show. Hang out a little bit, and then what do we got? We got Thursday. Thick of It is not on this week.
It is not.
I don't think that we're having a Thursday Thick of It this week. So we'll see what goes on for Thursday night, and then I don't know. We'll see if we have the return of a Friday night hangout. It's been a while since we've done that. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's getting late, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you coming in here, man. Everybody enjoyed it. Like, this is a valuable thing. I know that I love it. Like, I love it. I'm learning so much from you. I don't know if you notice it when you listen to me talk on other people's shows in this channel, that I'm like talking differently now and repeating the things that I'm learning from you. I don't know if I nail it every time or if I'm right every time, but I'm definitely talking at a different level than I ever have because of this.
Listen, if somebody somewhere in the Twitter sphere, YouTube universe, learns one thing, then it's all worth it, right?
Yeah, man. So thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody for being here, and thank you, Hank G. I am working on getting better. I'll be better by next week. I mean, like, the cough will go away and I'll be fine. It's really the throat. I want to be able to, I want to be able to do the intro again. I can't do the intro. I'll literally start hacking. Like, I'll start coughing. Like, you know what I mean? I can't hold a note and do it. But all right, Braden. Thanks for coming, Mike. And maybe I'll see you live tomorrow. But take care, everybody. Good to see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at the Wacky Wednesday show, and I'll see you tomorrow on Green Bean's Patreon, Dom.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Later, everybody. Let me leave you with this. Oh yeah. Go. Amazing. That's my boy. He
breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco beat Cincinnati.